Hello, Franklin County. I'm Jody Brown, and I'm the Secretary of the Franklin County Electoral Board. This fall, everyone in Franklin County will be using paper ballots, and that's going to be a change. We really appreciate Cable 12's coming to give you this information so that you will know what to expect on November the 3rd. Some of what will happen will be just the same as you've always done when you've gone to vote. You will check in, you'll go to your precinct, you will check in with your photo ID, you will state your name and your address, and the officers of election will mark you off on the poll book. They will give you, just as they have in the past, a voter pass. At that point, things get a little bit different. You will take that voter pass to an officer of election who will be called the ballot officer, or whatever his name is or her name is. And you will get two things. You will get a blank ballot, and you will get a privacy sleeve. At that point, you will get to make a choice. Would you prefer to mark your ballot standing up or sitting down? And then you will make your way over to one of these two types of voting booths. We'll have some on a table like this, and we'll have some stand-up ones like this. You will have however long you need to mark your ballot. Inside each voting booth will be a marker so that you don't have to bring a pen with you. If you're using this type of stand-up voting booth and it's a little dark, there's even a little light here, which you probably can't see on the television because there's a lot of light in this room, but you can put a little more light on your ballot if you need to. Once you have your ballot marked, then you will take your ballot to this optical scan machine and it will read it. I'm going to ask Wallace Menifee to come up and be our sample voter. I'm going to show him a ballot, and he's going to look it over, and he's going to make a guess or some kind of judgment about whether or not he thinks this ballot is appropriately marked so that the machine can read it. So what have you decided?
Yes.
Yes,
I think
okay.
so.
Try it. And notice that it now says valid ballot, and it's casting the ballot, and it's ready for another one. So that's how long it takes for a correctly marked ballot to be counted. I'm going to give him another one now. What about this one? Do you think that one is correctly marked so that it can be counted?
Yes.
Okay, let's try that. And that one was also correctly marked. Let's try a third one. How about this one?
No.
No. Oh, I didn't mean to take it from you. Let's find out. This says blank ballot detected. Make sure you use the proper marking pen in the proper voting areas. To return and correct your ballot, press return. To ignore this message and cast your ballot as is, press cast. So would you like to have another chance to mark that ballot?
Yes.
Press return. Either place. Yeah, no, you're right, it is down here. All right, and then the ballot comes out. He can return with his privacy sleeve to the voting booth and mark the ballot, which had no marks on it at the time he put it in the machine. Okay, so that's that one. How about this one? Is this one going to be doable?
Yes.
Okay, let's try that one. This one says major overvote. At least one major contest has too many votes. You filled in too many ovals in one contest. And it was the contest for president. You chose 2, you are allowed 1. Press the return to get your ballot back. And if he had chosen to cast it, it simply would not have been counted. So now we can see that we have on this ballot both a vote for the printed name and a write-in vote, and both names are marked as wanting to vote. Now, what would happen at this point if he wanted to cast a legal ballot? He would ask the officer of election for a new ballot. And he would write void across the top. We would put that ballot aside in a box so that the officers of election can count them at the end of the night, because the officers of election have to be able to account for all of the ballots that the registrar sends to them. But you did very well. Thank you for doing some of them right and some of them wrong. That helped.
Thank you.
Thank you. When the polls close at the end of the night, the officers of election have to take the ballots out of the bin that they've been dropping into. We have Kay Chitwood, our Franklin County Registrar, who's going to show us how they're going to do that. As you see, she's unlocking the bin, which will have been locked all day long, and inside are the ballots. And they're in two different places. Let me have this one, please, first. This one was in a smaller ballot bin because it has a write-in vote, which is this contest right here, that was voted correctly. But because it's a write-in vote, it drops in a smaller bin inside the machine, because the officers of election have to be able to list all of those write-in names. The other ballots dropped into the main ballot box. And all of the ballots then, once they had recorded any write-ins, would go into a box that is sealed and is taken to the clerk of the court's office. So that's a little overview on the new voting process. We hope you'll find it easy and intuitive, and we certainly hope to see you on November 3rd on Election Day.